Son of God. It's hard for us to get that. At that moment, he was as much human as you are. At that moment, he had to battle his thoughts just like you would have to battle yours. Now you tell me, if you're getting ready to go through all this stuff and your mind is telling you you really don't have to if you don't want to, how many of us wouldn't? Being a human being, it's built into you to survive. That's an instinct that's made into people to survive. But he kept going back and praying more and praying more and praying more until that moment when the angel came and gave him what he needed. And from that point forward, there's no hesitation, there's no turning back, there's no looking back. You don't read anything where he has to get out of it or anything like that. But to get to that point, he had to, I don't know how else to put this, you've heard this term. To get to that point, he had to pray through. What does it mean to pray through? Pray through the distractions. Pray through what your mind wants to do. Pray through how you feel. Pray through whatever else is going on. And pray through. And once you pray through all that, then God will strengthen you. God will give you what you need in order to do what you must do or go where you must go or whatever the case may be. But the concept is the same. Whatever it is that you're praying for, whether it be for a job that God has you to do, or whether it be for something that you need in your life, or whether it be, physical, whatever, the concept is the same. You got to pray through until you get what you need. And again, he didn't get what he asked for. He has to let the cup pass from him. Then he said, nevertheless, your will be done. There's nothing wrong with going and asking God for what I want. Just like Christ did. God, if it's possible, give me this. But if it's not possible, I'll accept your will. And if I can do that, honestly, from my heart and from my spirit, you know what I'm going to get? Where we started out. I'm going to get a peace that passes all understanding. Because he said, if I pray, with prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, and let my request be made known unto God, the peace of God, which passes all understanding, will keep my heart and my mind and my spirit. It will keep me in that place that I need to be. So, whatever it is, the concept is the same. When we're going to pray and we're going to see things happen, we want to see mountains move, we want to see people healed, we want to see trees plucked up by the root, we want to see provision or healing, whatever it is, the concept is the same. We have got to get an understanding of what it really is to pray. We got to quit praying at God and pray to God. We got to quit going through the form and the fashion and open up to God. Bare our hearts, bare our soul. We have to get to that point when I go to pray and being a human being and my mind begins to wander or whatever, I got to pull it back. I got to make that effort to do that. But most of the time when something like that happens, we just go with it. We got to stop it. We got to recognize it for what it is and pull it back and take control of it. And again, one more time, and I think I'll be done. If we do this, along with the other things that God has been teaching us, things will happen. I am telling you. I know this in my spirit. I know this in my heart. This is what God has put on me. If we do these things that God has sent to us, we get a hold of them, we understand them, and we begin to get into the deeper things of God. We are going to be a church that is powerful. We're going to be a church that sees things happen. And I'm not just talking about this little group. I'm talking about anybody in the body of Christ who begins to get a hold of these things. Then we're going to begin to see a resurgence of the church, the way that the church was meant to be, where things do happen, and captives are set free, and people are healed, and all these other things are going on. But in order for that to happen, we got to get a hold of this and start living this way. That's the only way. And again, I'm going to say this, and I will be done. I mentioned this. The whole purpose of you being here is to get equipped. And God sends what is necessary to equip you, because God knows what's out there. You don't know what tomorrow holds. You don't know what's over the hill, but He does. So He knows what equipment you need. And He wouldn't send it if you don't need it. So we need to take this seriously and understand we need to get back to prayer. We need to get back to prayer God's way. And I would encourage you, and I know I encourage you to do this a lot. Go in the Bible and study it. Read it. Understand it. Let the Spirit speak to you and get you to that place of prayer where you know you're touching the throne of God, where you know you're getting through, where you know things are going to happen. That's it. I'll stop. I could go on, but I'd be repeating myself.